Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every life when the soul is tested, when the heart is weighed in the furnace of affliction, and when the path ahead is obscured by a fog of fear and doubt. It is in these moments that many men are tempted to surrender. It is here that dreams wither and men of lesser vision turn back. But I tell you, it is also here, precisely here, that greatness is born. For no man rises to heights of destiny without first having been brought low. No man receives the torch of leadership without first bearing the weight of loneliness and loss. When God seeks to use a man, he must first break him, not to destroy him, but to remake him, to strip away the pride that blinds, to crush the fear that paralyzes, and to tear apart the chains of ego that shackle the soul. Adversity is the hammer of the divine craftsman, shaping rough ore into shining steel. Hardship is not your enemy, it is your training ground. Suffering is not your punishment, it is your preparation. You must learn to welcome the blows that life delivers, for each strike is a testimony to the greatness God sees within you. Look around you and study the lives of the men who have shaped the course of history. You will find scars on their hearts and calluses on their spirits. You will find seasons of darkness when they wandered through deserts of despair, bereft of hope, clinging to nothing but a flicker of faith. It is this fire, this sacred furnace, that burns away the dross and leaves only the pure gold of character. If you are broken today, know this: you are in the hands of a master builder. Every tear you shed is watering the seeds of your future triumph. Every loss you endure is carving new strength into your being. Every closed door is redirecting you toward a greater purpose. Success demands a price. It demands the death of the small self so that the greater self can be born. It demands the courage to walk through the valleys, to stand firm in the storms, and to believe, even when there is no evidence, that the sun will rise again. Understand this truth, and you will never again curse the struggle. Instead, you will rise and bless it. You will say to the heavens, "Break me, mold me, make me ready." For you will know that out of your brokenness will come unshakable strength. Out of your suffering will come supreme wisdom, and out of your testing will come a testimony that will light the way for generations to come. Would you also like me to write a slightly shorter or even more intense version, depending on the style you're aiming for? Fire, there is a common misconception in the world that suffering is a sign of weakness, that hardship is a punishment for a life poorly lived. People often look at their struggles and, in moments of despair, wonder why they must endure such pain. They question the fairness of life, the reason for their suffering, and sometimes even the existence of a higher purpose behind it all. But I tell you, suffering is not a sign of weakness, and hardship is not a punishment. It is, in fact, a powerful tool of transformation, an instrument of preparation, and a sign that God has a greater plan for your life. When you are broken, it does not mean you are worthless. It does not mean you are less than. It means that you are being prepared for something greater. A diamond, before it shines in the sunlight, must first be broken and molded under immense pressure. A potter shapes clay with force and precision, but the result is not a broken piece of pottery, it is a vessel of beauty and purpose. So too, God allows the breaking of the man to bring forth a life that will shine with purpose and bring glory to the Creator. The breaking process is not to destroy you. It is to strip away the unnecessary layers that stand between you and your fullest potential. Like an artist chipping away at a block of marble, God uses the chisel of adversity to remove the rough edges, revealing the masterpiece that lies beneath. It is not a destruction of who you are, but a rebirth into who you were always meant to become. Consider for a moment the lives of great individuals throughout history. The names we remember, the leaders we celebrate, the visionaries whose legacies remain long after their passing, each of them has experienced some form of profound struggle. The world did not see them as great in their time of breaking. In fact, many were ridiculed, dismissed, or even condemned during their hardest trials. But when we look at their stories from a distance, we see that it was their moments of pain and hardship that led to their greatness. Their struggles were not indications of failure. They were the fires in which their characters were forged, their resilience was tested, and their purpose was clarified. The breaking of a man is often misunderstood. It can feel like a loss of control, a sense of helplessness as everything that once seemed certain begins to unravel, but it is precisely in those moments of vulnerability, when you feel the weight of life pressing upon you, that the greatest lessons are learned. When you find yourself at the lowest point, with no other option but to look upward, you begin to discover truths about yourself and the world that you could never have known otherwise. In times of adversity, many men give up, but those who endure find the key to their purpose. The breaking is not about suffering for the sake of suffering. It is about preparing you for something that you cannot yet see but will one day understand. When you are broken, you are not abandoned. You are being prepared for a higher calling, one that requires a strength that can only be developed through the trials you face. Through the fire, you learn patience. Through the storm, you learn courage. And through the tears, you learn compassion. God does not break you to see you fall. He breaks you to see you rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. In every moment of pain, there is a lesson to be learned. In every tear that falls, there is a cleansing taking place. It is a purging of the doubts, the fears, and the insecurities that have held you back from becoming the person you were always meant to be. Every moment of struggle is an opportunity to learn more about your inner strength and resilience. The world often teaches us to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to run from difficulty. We are told that happiness is found in ease, that peace is found in the absence of conflict. But true peace, true joy, and true success come not from avoiding the storms of life, but from learning how to navigate them. The breaking process prepares you to face the challenges that lie ahead. It teaches you how to stand firm when the winds of adversity blow against you, how to remain unshaken when the ground beneath your feet seems to crumble away. It is in these moments of difficulty that your true character emerges, and it is in these moments that you are prepared for the greatness that lies ahead. It is easy to look at others who appear to be living without struggle, to envy their ease, and to wonder why life seems so hard for you. But what you must understand is that no one is immune to the breaking process. Even those who seem to live without difficulty have faced their own struggles, their own moments of pain. The difference is not in the presence or absence of suffering, but in how we respond to it. Those who rise after being broken, those who continue to push forward despite the odds, those are the ones who ultimately achieve success. It is not the absence of hardship that makes a man great. It is his ability to rise above it, to learn from it, and to use it as fuel for his journey. When you are broken, you are in the perfect position to rebuild not as you were before, but as the person you were always meant to be. The breaking of the man is not the end of his story, it is the beginning of his true journey. It is the moment when he realizes that his dreams are not limited by his past, by his failures, or by his circumstances. The breaking process is not a sign of defeat, it is a sign of preparation. It is the refining fire that burns away everything that is not necessary, leaving behind only that which is pure, strong, and ready to fulfill its purpose. Embrace the breaking, for it is not a punishment, it is a gift. It is the gift of transformation, the gift of growth, and the gift of becoming who you were always meant to be. When you are broken, you are in the hands of a master craftsman, shaping you, molding you, preparing you for greatness. And in the end, you will look back at the moments of your greatest suffering and realize that they were, in fact, the moments that made you who you are. And that, my friend, is the true meaning of the phrase, God breaks the man he wants to use. He breaks you not to harm you, but to make you ready for the task ahead, a task that only you, in your newly transformed state, can accomplish. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Adversity, as it often appears in our lives, is never something we seek out, nor something we desire to face. It comes in many forms: failure, loss, rejection, betrayal, financial hardship, and emotional pain. When it enters our lives, it is frequently met with resistance, fear, and frustration. We want to escape it, avoid it, or at the very least make sense of it. However, adversity is not an enemy to be feared, but rather a teacher, a force that shapes us into something greater than we were before. It is the very thing that molds us into the individuals capable of achieving our fullest potential. When we face challenges, there is a temptation to ask, why me? Or why is this happening? We may feel defeated or powerless, overwhelmed by the enormity of the trials before us. Yet it is crucial to understand that adversity is not a random or meaningless event. It is a deliberate force that is preparing us, shaping us, and strengthening us for the future that awaits us. Every challenge that comes into your life has a purpose, and that purpose is to refine your character, to fortify your resolve, and to teach you valuable lessons that will serve you in the pursuit of your goals. The power of adversity lies not in its ability to harm us, but in its capacity to reveal the strength within us. When we are pushed to our limits, when we feel as though we cannot endure another hardship, we are given the opportunity to discover what we are truly made of. It is in these moments of struggle that our deepest reservoirs of strength, courage, and determination are tapped. It is when we are tested that we find out who we really are, what we stand for, and how far we are willing to go to achieve our dreams. The great leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries throughout history were not exempt from adversity. In fact, many of them endured tremendous challenges before achieving their success. Thomas Edison, for example, failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Abraham Lincoln suffered multiple defeats in his political career before becoming one of the most revered presidents in American history. The path to greatness is never smooth, and it is never free of obstacles. But what these individuals did, what sets them apart, is that they embraced adversity as part of the process. They did not shy away from their struggles. They faced them head on, learned from them, and emerged stronger on the other side. Adversity forces us to confront our weaknesses and limitations. It strips us of our false sense of invulnerability and teaches us humility. When we are comfortable, it is easy to believe that we have all the answers, that success is inevitable, and that we are in control. But adversity shatters that illusion. It forces us to confront the reality of our imperfections and shortcomings. It reminds us that we are human and that our greatest growth often comes from the most difficult of circumstances. In the face of adversity, we are often forced to make choices that determine our future. Will we rise to the challenge, or will we shrink away from it? Will we embrace the struggle and use it as fuel for growth, or will we allow it to defeat us? The choice is ours. It is easy to be overwhelmed by difficulty, to fall into despair, and to give up when things seem impossible. But true greatness is found in the ability to rise above these challenges, to learn from them, and to continue moving forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Adversity also teaches us resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after facing a setback, to get up after being knocked down, and to continue pursuing our goals with even more determination than before. It is not the absence of difficulty that creates strength, but rather the ability to endure and grow stronger through hardship. Just as a muscle becomes stronger after being subjected to stress and strain, so too does our character become more resilient through adversity. Each challenge we face builds our resilience, preparing us for even greater trials in the future. It is through adversity that we learn the true meaning of perseverance. Perseverance is the quality that enables us to keep going even when the odds are stacked against us. It is the willingness to continue striving toward our goals, even in the face of failure, disappointment, and hardship. Those who persevere are the ones who eventually achieve their dreams, not because they are free of struggle, but because they refuse to quit. Every time they face a setback, they stand back up. Every time they experience failure, they learn from it and use it as a stepping stone toward their ultimate success. Adversity also teaches us the importance of having a clear purpose and vision. When the storms of life rage around us, it is easy to become distracted, to lose focus, and to forget why we are pursuing our goals in the first place. But those who are able to endure adversity are those who remain anchored to their purpose. They know why they are fighting, why they are struggling, and they refuse to let go of their vision, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. A strong sense of purpose is the fuel that keeps us going when everything else seems to be falling apart. It gives us the clarity to stay on course, even when the path is not easy to follow. Through adversity, we are also forced to become more resourceful and creative. When things are going well, it is easy to rely on familiar strategies and solutions. But when adversity strikes, we are often forced to think outside the box, to come up with new ways of solving problems, and to adapt to changing circumstances. It is in these moments that our true ingenuity shines. The obstacles we face challenge us to think more creatively, to push the boundaries of what we thought was possible, and to find solutions that we never would have considered before. Ultimately, adversity teaches us that success is not a destination, but a journey. The challenges we face along the way are not obstacles to our success. They are an integral part of the success process. It is through overcoming adversity that we develop the qualities strength, resilience, perseverance, creativity, and purpose that are necessary to achieve our goals. Success is not about avoiding hardship, but about learning how to navigate it. It is about embracing adversity, using it as a tool for growth, and becoming the best version of ourselves in the process. So the next time you face adversity, do not be disheartened. Do not see it as something to fear or avoid. Recognize it for what it truly is, a powerful force that is shaping you, preparing you, and equipping you for the greatness that lies ahead. Embrace it with courage, faith, and determination, knowing that each challenge is bringing you one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Because adversity, when faced with the right mindset, is not a setback, it is the foundation for success. True greatness is not something that is simply handed to us. It is not something that is easily achieved or acquired without effort. It is forged through trial, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to our purpose. Greatness is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to rise above it, to press on in the face of adversity, and to remain faithful to our vision even when the road ahead seems impossible to navigate. Many people dream of achieving greatness, but few understand the path it requires. It's easy to admire those who have reached the pinnacle of success, to look at their lives and wonder how they managed to get there. But what we often fail to realize is that every great individual, every leader, every visionary has faced enormous challenges and setbacks along the way. They did not become great because they were born into favorable circumstances or because success came easily. They became great because they refused to give up, no matter how hard the journey became. Greatness begins with a vision. It starts with a dream, a desire to accomplish something meaningful, to make a difference in the world. But a vision alone is not enough. The road to greatness requires a deep commitment to that vision, even when it seems impossible, even when others doubt you, and even when everything around you appears to be falling apart. It is not enough to simply dream about success. You must be willing to work for it, to sacrifice for it, and to endure the hardships that will come along the way. Those who achieve greatness do not shy away from difficulty. They do not run from challenges or hide from failure. Instead, they see every obstacle as an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn, and to move closer to their ultimate goal. The greats are those who embrace struggle with courage, who understand that every setback is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. They realize that it is through struggle that they develop the resilience, the determination, and the wisdom necessary to achieve their dreams. The ability to rise above adversity is one of the key characteristics of greatness. It is not enough to simply endure hardship. You must be willing to rise stronger, smarter, and more determined after each trial. There will be moments when the road seems impassable, when the weight of your burdens feels unbearable, and when you feel like giving up. But it is in these moments of trial that you are being tested. It is through these tests that your true character is formed. It is through facing these challenges head on that you become the person capable of achieving greatness. The journey to greatness requires a certain mindset. It requires a mindset that refuses to accept defeat, that believes in the power of perseverance, and that sees failure as a necessary part of success. When you encounter failure, it is easy to become discouraged, to believe that you are not cut out for greatness, and to consider giving up. But those who achieve greatness understand that failure is not the end, it is merely a part of the process. Every failure contains a lesson, every setback carries with it an opportunity for growth. It is through failure that we learn, adapt, and refine our strategies. Those who are willing to fail repeatedly but persistently are the ones who ultimately achieve their goals. One of the greatest challenges on the path to greatness is overcoming fear. Fear is the enemy of progress, the silent force that keeps many people from pursuing their dreams. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, these are the things that hold people back from stepping out and taking bold action. But fear is not something to be avoided, it is something to be faced. Greatness is born from the courage to move forward in spite of fear, to take risks and embrace uncertainty. Those who achieve greatness are not those who live without fear, they are the ones who learn to overcome it. Perseverance is another key ingredient in the pursuit of greatness. It is easy to begin something, to feel the initial excitement and enthusiasm, but it is much harder to keep going when the initial momentum fades, when the excitement turns into exhaustion, and when the world around you begins to lose interest. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who do not is the ability to keep going, even when the road becomes difficult. Perseverance is the ability to continue striving toward your goals, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It is the ability to stay committed to your vision, even when the world around you tells you to quit. But greatness is not just about individual effort. It is also about the ability to inspire and lead others. The great leaders throughout history have been those who were able to inspire those around them, to unite people around a common purpose, and to build teams that work together toward a shared goal. Greatness is not achieved in isolation. It is achieved through collaboration, teamwork, and the ability to uplift and empower others. The ability to lead with integrity, to make decisions that are in the best interest of others, and to serve the greater good is a fundamental part of true greatness. True greatness is also rooted in humility. It is easy to become consumed by ego, to believe that our success is a result of our own brilliance and hard work alone. But those who achieve greatness understand that success is never an individual achievement. They recognize the contributions of others, the support they have received along the way, and the role that circumstances and opportunities have played in their journey. True greatness is not about personal glory or recognition. It is about making a positive impact on the world and leaving a lasting legacy that benefits others. The pursuit of greatness also requires patience. Success does not come overnight, and the road to achieving your goals is often long and winding. It requires years of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. There will be times when progress seems slow, when the end goal appears distant, and when doubts begin to creep in. But those who achieve greatness understand that patience is a virtue. They know that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to their ultimate goal. They understand that success is not a sprint, but a marathon. They keep moving forward, trusting that the results will come in time. At its core, greatness is about making a difference. It is about using your unique talents and abilities to contribute to the world, to leave a positive impact, and to serve others. True greatness is not measured by wealth, status, or accolades, but by the legacy you leave behind. It is about the lives you touch, the people you inspire, and the positive changes you create in the world. Those who achieve greatness are those who find a way to give more than they take, who use their success to uplift others, and who make the world a better place through their actions. Greatness is not something that can be measured by external accomplishments alone. It is about who you become along the way. It is about the person you grow into through your trials, your perseverance, your courage, and your commitment to your purpose. True greatness is about developing the character, the strength, and the resilience to overcome adversity and continue moving forward toward your dreams. It is about leaving a legacy that will inspire future generations to pursue their own greatness, to embrace their own struggles, and to never give up on their own dreams. Those who achieve greatness are not defined by their circumstances, their setbacks, or their failures. They are defined by their ability to rise above adversity, to persevere through challenges, and to remain true to their vision, no matter the cost. True greatness is not an easy path, but it is the most rewarding one. It is the path of resilience, of perseverance, of courage, and of unwavering commitment to a higher purpose. It is a path that requires strength, but it is a path that leads to the most profound and lasting success. In the end, the journey of life is not about avoiding struggle or escaping hardship, but about learning how to rise above it, using every challenge as a stepping stone toward growth and transformation. The path to greatness is never easy, nor is it devoid of pain and difficulty. It is through adversity that we are prepared for the life that we are meant to live, and it is in our brokenness that we find the strength to become who we are truly meant to be. God does not break the man to destroy him, but to build him, shaping him into someone who is capable of fulfilling a higher purpose. Adversity is not our enemy, but our teacher. It does not seek to harm us. Rather, it reveals to us the depths of our strength, our resilience, and our capacity to persevere. With each trial, we are given the opportunity to refine our character, to become more compassionate, patient, and determined. Through struggle, we learn the most profound lessons that prepare us for the greatness we are destined to achieve. We are not defined by our failures or hardships, but by how we rise from them, how we grow stronger, and how we continue to move forward despite the obstacles in our path. The true measure of greatness is not in how much we accumulate or how far we go, but in the character we develop along the way. Greatness is forged in the crucible of adversity. It is built through perseverance, humility, and an unwavering commitment to our purpose. Those who achieve greatness are not those who have faced no challenges, but those who have faced the greatest struggles and chosen to rise above them. They are the ones who refuse to let circumstances define them, who refuse to let fear or failure dictate their future. They are the ones who used every setback as a lesson, every failure as a stepping stone, and every trial as a tool for transformation. Our journey is not defined by the smoothness of the road, but by our ability to navigate it, to push forward even when the path becomes unclear, and to trust in the process, knowing that every challenge is preparing us for something greater. We must embrace the struggle, knowing that it is through these very struggles that we discover the strength to become the person capable of achieving the dreams that were placed within us. We must believe that every trial we face is not a punishment, but a preparation for the purpose that lies ahead. When we face challenges with the right mindset, we see them not as obstacles to overcome, but as opportunities to grow. Our struggles shape us, refine us, and ultimately lead us to the greatness that is already within us. By remaining true to our vision, by persevering through difficulty, and by maintaining faith in ourselves and in the greater purpose behind our lives, we will rise above the obstacles and fulfill the potential that lies within us. Greatness is not something we attain by avoiding hardship, but by embracing it, learning from it, and continuing to move forward toward the extraordinary life that awaits us.